Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. If you are interested in a new miner, this is one that's about to drop tomorrow and it looks like it's going to be a really good one. So as you can see right here, this countdown timer, it's going to launch in 18 hours. Now I normally do these videos right when the product launches or right when the protocol launches. That way you can get in. I wanted to give you some forewarning because I don't think I'm going to be able to film video tomorrow morning and get it out in time. And if you are familiar with the old school miners and really just most miners in general, you want to get in as early as possible. So if you plan to get into this one after you've watched the full tutorial, I would set yourself an alarm or some sort of calendar reminder or something like that to let you know exactly when to get in. I plan to do that for myself, and as soon as this 18 hours 42 minutes is up, I am going to go in and I'm going to make my deposit and try to get in as early as possible. And the reason we do that is because you have the highest likelihood of actually ROIing. Now again, none of this is financial advice. Do whatever you want to do, but if it's something that you are going to do, try to give yourself the best advantage you can. Let's jump over here to the tutorial. It is a very simple protocol, again, just like the old school miners. That little tutorial button takes you here and it just gives you the basic details about the protocol. So welcome to Classic Miner, an enhanced BNB miner designed to offer reduced inflation and everlasting advantages. So if you're like me and you missed the boat on BNB miner and it ran forever and you wish you would have gotten in early on, this may be the next best thing. And it got a killer auto score. I'll go through all that. Now fees wise, just 5% on deposit, 0 on compound or sell, which is really low in my opinion. Standard to what you've seen in the past. By depositing BNB, you're basically hiring miners is what they call it, and then you start earning as soon as you've made your deposit. Now you can compound your available profits, and if your daily ROI drops below 1%, you'll get an extra 10% compound bonus. So this, of course, like most traditional miners or old school miners, does have a variable ROI. When you want to sell to take profit, you just cash in, and then all those available rewards go directly to your wallet in the form of BNB, of course. And then there's a jackpot built in. So every deposit that you've made over 0.1 BNB resets the countdown back to 24 hours. Whenever the timer hits 0, the last depositor, so the last person to put in at least 0.1 BNB, wins 1% of the total TVL, and then a new round begins. So this is just an extra added layer of gamification, a way for you to make some additional funds. So let's close this and just look at the ROI Dapp. It is really simple. You of course come down here to deposit your money. You will put in however much BNB you want to add in here. I'm going to do probably 4 BNB, maybe 5, something in that range. That's kind of my typical deposit into stuff like this. So that's probably about what I'm going to do. In order to do that, I would put in my BNB, click hire miners when this thing is actually live, and they will go in the system and start working for me. This section here will show me what my daily ROI actually is. Dump factor, I'll show you what that is in the white paper. Total miners is just the amount of your deposit, whatever that calculates in the terms of what miners are for them. And then your available rewards, of course, will be shown in BNB. You can join the Telegram, there's the audit, all the stuff here. Let's just go to documents. And this, of course, is their white paper. So there's a disclaimer here, and it says, much like its forerunners, Classic Miner operates without external funding, so be aware of that. It is first in, first out tokenomics. Its triumph and profitability are hence determined by its community and investors. It's crucial to remember that such decentralized applications, despite being fully autonomous, are still regarded as high-risk investments. Thus, it's wise to invest only an amount that you would be willing to lose. So Classic Miner has been created to finally rework some of the problems of the classic miner dApps and to launch a product that could be financially viable at its start and then become completely decentralized and tax-free, all without leaving any security issues in the original smart contract. So let's scroll down. What has changed? So from the original contracts, these were flaws. Inflation constantly driving down profits, lower at each new user entry, which is always frustrating if you get into those miners. There are little to no incentives to depositing after the initial launch date, right? It's a little bit scary to get in late. I still want to get in early, but this one curbs that a little bit. Uncapped daily profits for the first entries, creating a huge gap between old and new investors. And centralized entities that influence the payout distribution. So Classic Miner will be a standalone product. There'll be no further development. It's a smart contract that's immutable and locked. 30 days after following its launch, it is set to become 100% tax-free automatically. So no more taxes 30 days after launch. All right, to the tutorial section, let's keep it pretty basic. What you're going to do is hire your miners with your BNB using your Web3 wallet. You guys are all familiar with that if you're watching my channel. Like I said, 5% tax for the first 30 days, and after that, they're going to remove that tax altogether. So that is pretty convenient. Now, the daily ROI. Daily ROI indicates how much BNB you are currently generating considering your total deposit. That daily ROI is capped at 3.5% daily, and no user can earn more than that. Your miners, of course, your deposit determines your current daily ROI. You can get more miners by compounding or depositing extra BNB. And the dump factor. This indicates how much selling pressure there currently is on the miner. When many users are selling their profits, this percentage will increment and will give an extra bonus to the number of miners that new buyers will acquire until the selling pressure is repaired, so it's dynamic. They've got a little example here. It says if user A spends 1 BNB to get 1,000 miners, the dump factor is 0. If user B spends 1 BNB to get 2,000 miners, the dump factor is 1% or 100% bonus. So this is what it'll look like on your screen. You'll have your daily ROI. In this example, 2.02%. You've got the dump factor here, your total miners that you have, and then you can see how much BNB you have available. You can either compound that, it'll show if you have a bonus, or you can sell and take profits. As I mentioned before, they've kind of gamified it a little bit. So every 24 hours, there's going to be a countdown to a jackpot, and every deposit over 0.1 BNB will be eligible. Once that countdown's done and the timer hits 0, 1% of the total contract balance will be given to the last depositor. So this obviously will cause a rush of deposits right around the time that countdown's going, and then one person is going to get lucky every single day. Now there's more to go through here, but I don't want to make this video super long. Let's go to the audit. The audit was done by the Stamp, and frankly, it's one of the best audits I've seen. As you can see here, overall score is at 93, which is really, really high. Backdoors at 100, so there's no backdoors. The owner is solid. We have done worked with projects that this owner has done in the past. We also have worked with the marketing team in the past. So some of the folks that you've got into projects with me in the recent past have also contributed on this project, and that's why you're seeing Team Trust at 100, which I don't think I've ever seen. So as far as a miner contract goes, and just really any protocol, this is an extremely high score. No backdoors, the owner gets 100 and Team Trust gets 100. So it's because they're well known in the space, they've done other projects and they're trustworthy. The only thing that bringing this down from a full 100 is fees at 90%. And frankly, I think that's even a low score considering it's only 5% on the way in, and then it transitions over to being 0% after 30 days. So I could see this actually being higher, but it is what it is. 93 is a killer score, and so it makes me feel even more confident about this one. So we covered most of this before. Of course, it's on BNB. Max percentage per day that you could be receiving is up to 3.5%. They've got that jackpot for the latest depositor. So as long as it's a 0.1 BNB or more, then you are eligible to receive that 1% of the TVL. There's a single level of referral rewards, compounding bonus. There's the dump feature and the miner burning mechanism. So if the daily ROI is more than the ROI limit of the contract, which is 3.5%, the address will burn 1/3 of the miners used to hatch the latest eggs. So that burning mechanism is what helps curb the inflation, which is a problem with a lot of the other ones. Of course, this is a fully locked contract, no owner privileges, and Team Trust. This is the developer right here. You have seen his name around. He's in the groups, really solid. He's been involved in a lot of other projects. George from the Stamp is really familiar with him, and that's why this protocol gets such a good score. So in about 18 and a half hours, this thing's going to launch. I plan on getting in here and throwing in my money super early on. It says with the new tokenomics that it's not as important to get in right at launch, but I still like to do it anyway. I want the highest likelihood of profit. So check this out. I'll be making more videos on it. Just my update videos on how we're doing and what kind of money we're making. But keep in mind, this is launching, I believe that would be noon tomorrow Eastern, and I think that's 4 p.m. UTC. So check it out. Classic miner. I think it's going to be a good one. Really good audit score. I mean, really standard old school miner. You come in here, you deposit your BNB, and your miners work for you, and you get that variable ROI. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Smash the like. If you've been looking for another miner, this might be the one for you. Happy investing.